Okay. Okay. Hear me now? Kelly? Thumbs up? Nope.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. How's everybody doing? Been a while.
It
I'm
has.
still alive.
Still alive. How's it going down there, Patty? You feeling a little bit better yet?
Yes,
Good. Good. Glad to hear
I'm
it.
feeling better.
And how's Kelly doing tonight? So you're off on Tuesday nights, are you? Is that what it
Yep.
is? You work on Monday nights?
Yeah, I work Monday off, Tuesday and Wednesday.
So you're telling me to change the day for the training. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sure.
You never know. Maybe we will. We'll see. All right. Kim is here. Hello. Hello, Kim Kettle. Hello, Laverne. How are you doing, Laverne? Happy New Year. Let's see. Hi, Kim. How you doing? Happy New Year to you. Right. So I'm going to go ahead here, 702. I'll cast this into the group and take a minute or two. Surviving. Happy New Year. There's a few people in the group like that, Laverne. We're going to get back to crushing here in 2023. It's all good. See if I can remember how to go live on Facebook. Janine is here. Okay, should do group. Not that group. Here we go. All right, we're casting into the group. Jackie's here. Awesome. People are piling in. They haven't forgot about us. Setting up your meeting. All right. And we are live in the group. Got it. Everybody got it? We're being live streamed into Facebook right now. All right. So who's been working out this year? Kelly, I know you have. Patty, you been back to the gym yet? Not yet. Deneen, I know Deneen has. Kim, Jackie, Laverne, you guys could just put it in the chat. Do we have a couple people here that need a little kick in the butt? I hear somebody chatting. Tomorrow, Patty's going. Perfect. Awesome.
Today,
Well, it's only
got my first one in.
today. Awesome. Love it. Darlene is here as well. Good to have Darlene back. All right. Good numbers. Awesome. All right. So, hello, Darlene. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for being here. All that stuff. Did she get in? No, she didn't get it. Oh, yeah, there she is. Hi, Darlene. Didn't see there. All right. So, 6-step plan to keeping and attaining and keeping your dream body in 2023. So we had a couple people here that have been working out, a couple people that haven't been to the gym yet, but it's only early in 2023. We got lots of time left to go out and crush it. So whatever you need, we're here for you. It's only early. Let's grab the ball and roll with it. Okay. I just want to say one final thank you to everybody here for helping sponsor that family. It was really great to drop the gifts off to her, but if you didn't see the message that she sent me Christmas Day, it was pretty special to get that day, and you all did that. So thank you very much for contributing and being a part of that. My intention for 2023 is just to be in this group more than ever. I got sick there before Christmas. I know there's some people here that know exactly what I'm talking about, and it put me down for a couple of weeks. I did miss you guys, and I really want to be intentional about being in and growing this group as much as we can in 2023. So sickness is gone mostly, and we're back better than ever. So here's the goods. 6 steps to attaining your dream body. I'm going to mention a couple things here first before we get to those specific 6 steps. But the first thing that I do want to talk about is not letting the pendulum swing too far. So when we think of our mindset being good and being good to yourself and taking care of yourself, you want to have that mindset all the time so falls aren't as low. my healthiest self is different when life is stressful versus when something happens to me that's great. And it's just easier to do all the things that I need to do. You know, I was just sick for 2 weeks. And my healthiest self, as I wrote this earlier, was a lot different than it was 4 weeks ago. Right. And it is just what it is. Now, that being said, I'm not quite as strong and maybe a pound or two of more. I have a pound or two more fat than I need. But if you're someone that, swings 50 pounds overweight one way, then you're probably getting in shape because you just hate yourself too much when you get to that shape, right? And you hate yourself for having, or you hate having to do all those things to get you back to where you were. So when you finally do get healthy and you get back to where you were, you swing back the other way, right? So think about when you have kids, you lose time. You just don't have enough time to do all the things, and you place your time elsewhere. Body fat percentage is only a very small measure of how healthy you are. We talked a lot about body fat percentage before Christmas, and there's a wide range for how wide that can go. So think about your financial health, your relationship health. How am I sleeping? How's my energy? You can be in the best shape of your life just by being in a better mental state, even if you don't look as good as you did 5 years ago. You can take some of that energy you were putting into your training and put into other areas of your life. So taking care of your family, taking care of your finances, stuff like that. So don't let the pendulum swing too far. So then you don't have so far to come back from, is the main point there. And there's a lot of things to think about outside of just what you look like in the mirror, right? And even more deeper than how you feel, but your financial health, your relationship health. Really take stock of where you're at right now, and where you want to be at the end of 2023, or maybe where you want it to be now. Are you there? Did you get your goals accomplished in 2022? Which leads into number 2. Start with a review of your year, right? So this might seem like a lot of work, but it really is worth your time. Don't stress, just be honest with yourself. If you had a planner last year or something, just go back and look through the months and assess what you were trying to do. And without judgment, just see if you did it or not. And the easiest way to do that, you can just ask yourself 5 questions. Identify 3 to 5 things that made you proud from 2022. If you set goals for 2022, how far did you get? Identify what worked well and what didn't work and why. Are there things that you would like to improve? Things that you would like to start, things that you would like to stop doing? And what are some of the lessons you learned from last year that you want to keep moving forward? And now it's not about setting New Year's resolutions and becoming a completely different person. It's just kind of about taking stock of where you're at outside of just your health, but like your whole health, and moving forward from there with new goals for 2023. You've also got to prioritize those goals too. You've done your year in review. Identify the top priority areas that you want to work on, whether it is career or finances or your health or your relationships, etc. It could be all of the above, but pinpoint specific things in each category to work on. And remember, it's not about anyone else but you. So for your health and fitness goals, do the same. What is most important to you? Is it lifting 200 pounds? Is it having abs? One is a lot more fun than the other, but you really just need to know what you want to achieve and prioritize those goals. Number 4 that I want to mention first is writing your goals down. So a sure way to make things happen is to write it down, right? I know we've all said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this year, I'll do this next year. And it just never happens. It just becomes a little bit of pixie dust. It goes out your mouth and it goes on and never happens, right? So there's enormous power in putting things down on paper. And according to research, you become 42% more likely to achieve your goals and dreams when it's written. It seems, not almost childish, playful, but like it's true. So write down what you want to accomplish, and always keep a physical paper or planner, even though the planner could be on your smartphone, right? It doesn't matter. Just have it written down somewhere. And a little journal at the end of the day, just recapping what you wanted to do, if you accomplished it, and then setting goals for tomorrow, and take like 30 seconds at the end of the day. and reviewed at the start of the day, but it can be a good little kick in the butt to be like, oh crap, I didn't get that done yesterday. I need to do it today instead of just forgetting about it and never doing it. Now, the 6 steps that I was talking about come from this number 5. So inside of this number 5 is going to be 6 steps. Now we're talking about how to build a system around achieving your goals. And number 1 inside of that is you have to have a plan. You need to set realistic goals, and then you need to stage them in phases. So today we're focusing on your health and achieving that body you want. Most people go into that endeavor without a plan. Would you build a house without a plan? Like when do you put the walls up in this endeavor if you don't have a plan? Would you like know how to put the plaster on or when to put the plaster on? Would you put it before the basement's poured? You know what I mean? You need to have a plan for the whole year, really, not just a plan for the first 3 weeks and then not have a plan for the rest of the year. That's how you're going to quickly get to a plateau and not be able to get any further beyond that. So your plan must be reasonable. Pixie doesn't. I was just reading some comments. But your plan must be reasonable in a sense that it must be something that you can stick with. Most people, you know, don't know how to plan for one. They think they're going to go from 20 pounds overweight to their goal weight just by working out and, of course, eating less. And there's also the person who has a plan but has the wrong plan. The most common gym goer in January, when you take inventory of people coming in and coming out, there's some newbies, but most people are people that have been in and out of the gym for decades, but they struggle with consistency because they have a failing plan right from the start. And in the end, they just burn out and they can't keep up with it. And the next year they start again, they do it for a bit, they burn out and they start it again. And it's just a vicious cycle. So now that you're going to work on it every day, what does it look like? You need to, like I said, be setting realistic goals is something that's super important. You can't be unrealistic with your goals. It's like grocery shopping when you're hungry. Right now, you're super motivated and you can commit to working out 4 days a week because you're like, I need to do this. You have to know yourself and set something up that you can maintain forever. This feels like stuff that I've said before because it is. What kind of fat loss does that look like? What kind of muscle gain does that look like? Phase out your year accordingly. What are the first 2 months going to look like? The next 2 months. Break down your year and know what to expect. The first month, like say, you're going to focus on just eating more vegetables. And the next month, you're going to focus on getting in a consistent workout routine. The next month, you're going to start tracking your food. That's a quarter of the year right there. Just focus on 3 little things, right? Then the next month, you can focus on some aerobic endurance and so on. But just have a plan so you know that if you don't get done what you're doing this month, then you're going to be behind and you're going to need to try and get 2 things done the next month. So if you've been doing this without a plan and getting half-assed results, like I've kind of been doing lately, twice in the last couple of months, I've set up a few workouts for myself and then fizzled out partly because I didn't have a defined plan. And then especially when I got sick, it all went to shit because I didn't have a plan. I was doing good at the time, just because I was just going to the gym 4 or 5 days a week and whatever. But when I got sick, it all went downhill real fast. And it doesn't mean your plan can't be flexible, but just having a defined plan and a defined path to the best goals of your life will really help you stick with it. So just break it up into 3 quarters, 3/3, break it down into 1 month, whatever you want to do. And you want to break it up into quarters. The first quarter can be focusing on the bench, the deadlift, and the squat. Then break down your workouts into smaller goals inside of that main goal. Do the same thing with your diet and make it realistic for yourself. So for the first 3 months, maybe you're just eliminating soda and you're going to drink more water. Super simple. Then for the next 3 months, you're going to cut down by, say, you're going to cut a quarter of your plate down. So you're going to reduce your calories every time that you eat. And then focusing on things like sleep. can be in there, and it gives you a defined program that you're following, and it's just a more effective way of getting from point A to point B than just saying, I'm going to do all this stuff inside of here, but I'm not really sure when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get it done just because I need to. So have a plan is number one. Now, number two, start with the big rocks. And like when I say big rocks, things like avoiding heavily processed food, things that are going to give you a big return. Because now that you've broken up your year into phases, and what you're doing inside of those phases, it's time to work on these big rocks. So essentially start with the steps that are going to have the biggest impact. And like I said, are going to have the biggest return. When people see a big return after making a change, they are much more likely to continue moving forward. There's a few ladies here on this call right now that lost like 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds eating more food or within the first couple of weeks. And it was really easy to keep moving forward because you see that initial win, right? And then when things slow down and you realize that it's not a quick race, it becomes harder to stick with that. But don't try to move all the big rocks at once. Instead, focus on one of the big blocks first and then move on to another one. Calories, fiber, sugar, protein, workouts, sleep. Throw everything at you all at once, and it's not going to lead to success. It's going to lead to overwhelm, and you truly won't learn how to incorporate this stuff into your life. You could focus on one meal at a time, hit 40 grams of protein in your breakfast every day, for example, and then move on from that. Because these big rocks have a ripple effect. Eliminating soda, for example, is going to increase your water intake, which is going to give you more energy, which is going to leave you less bloated, which is going to improve your skin. So develop the skill of changing behaviors, because changing behaviors isn't easy. And that includes how active you are and the foods that you eat. There's nobody on this call that's really young, you know what I mean? So like we've had these behaviors for a long time, so they're going to be hard to break. So that's another reason that we need a plan. And we can start with these big rocks one at a time. And again, some examples of big rocks, avoiding, like I said, heavily processed food. So long shelf lives, long ingredients, cutting out processed foods is always going to lead to a reduction in overall calorie intake, because these processed foods are super highly palatable and draws people to eat more food. So like anybody here over Christmas eat something super palatable and wake up the next day and say, fuck, I ate a lot of sodium last night, or maybe a lot of sugar, and now you're still feeling the effects of it, perhaps. Yeah, couple here, right? So these processed foods are highly palatable. It's gonna make you eat more just because you want more of it. So just eat more real natural foods. You could lose up to 7 to 12 pounds just from that alone, especially now after going through Christmas. Strength training, of course, is going to be the king of all exercises. It impacts the metabolism in a positive way, and other forms of exercise don't necessarily do that. So 2 days a week of strength training is way more beneficial than anything else you can do twice a week, and more beneficial than a lot of stuff you could do 7 days a week. So walking just more throughout the day, right? So say like you by watch, you realize you're averaging 4,000 steps a day. You're going to try to hit 6,000, see what happens. Build up from there. Simple stuff. You get from 4,000 to 8,000 steps, you're working out twice a week. Big things are going to happen. And you haven't done a lot. There's a lot more you can do after that. Sleep is another big rock. Any of my clients know that on my presentation, sleep is literally the first thing I talk about. That's when your body heals. That's when your body recovers from all the stress of the day. Sleep is also going to impact your eating patterns. We've talked before about how one bad night of sleep is going to lead to cravings the next day. And unbalanced hormones can be, or are balanced when we sleep. So just a few examples of those big rocks that you can start with after you've broken your year up into those phases that we talked about first. All right, everybody still here? Any questions? I see some people paying attention. See some black screens, but I'm going to trust that they're still there. Lost 3.6 since yesterday because there you go. There you go, right? That's it, right in action right there. Eating a little, she knew I was talking about her when I was talking about eating more sodium. And just from cutting it out for a couple of days, almost 4 pounds gone, right? So there it is in action right there. Thanks for mentioning that, Kelly. So number 3 inside of this plan is going to be wait till you plateau before adding anything. You've heard me say that before as well. That doesn't mean a plateau on the scale, right? Nutrition and health, again, I've said this a lot, have so much more to do with a lot of other things than just that number on the scale. You've got to pay attention to all those things that I talked about earlier: your strength, your sleep, your energy, your mood, your relationships. Pay attention to everything and make sure that you aren't just following the weight on the scale for your progress. Right? We had a big training on that just before Christmas. Get the fuck off the scale, right? Your body's providing you a lot more signals than just your energy or your weight. How's your endurance? How's your overall strength in the gym? How's your digestion, right? There's a lot of deeper things that we can consider. And all these other factors are great indicators of your progress. So if your body's getting healthier and your weight is staying the same, you're not in a plateau. You're still getting those results that you want, those adaptations that we're looking for, the good ones. Look at everything. Look at the metrics of health, all of them, all the metrics of health and vitality. Be objective, and if none of them are moving forward, then you can add things. More sets, more reps, less calories, because we know that's a stress. You could add in some cardio, but wait until you truly hit a plateau. There's a lot of things that you can do first. Taking weekly or bi-weekly progress pictures is super, super important, especially when that scale does stall, because your body can be reducing body fat and increasing muscle at the same rate. So when we see ourselves in the mirror multiple times a day, it's hard to see that change in our body. But when we're losing fat and building muscle at the same time, our body's going to change a lot in the mirror. Talk a lot about building that body, using food for fuel, right? Changing that mindset. So outside of that, number 4 is to increase the intensity of the workouts. Okay, so you've hit that plateau. Then number 4, you can try increasing the intensity of your workouts. Also inside of that, tracking and prioritizing protein. So after you can increase the number of workouts by increasing the intensity of the workouts. If you're working out twice a week and you get to a point where you're not getting anything from the workouts, then you can just simply work out harder inside of that workout. You're going to want to make sure that you're eating enough protein here for sure, because protein is going to be more satiating, but it's also going to help you build muscle. It's also going to help you hold on to muscle. If you're really overweight, you could simply try to hit 140 grams of protein per day. If you're not really overweight, then you can aim for 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And that's going to do a lot to help support the muscle, maintaining that muscle on your body. Because we all know having more muscle on your body means your body's going to burn more calories for you. So you don't have to be in the gym trying to do it yourself all the time. Okay. Then number 5, now you're going to add more activity. So you're going to start tracking all of your macros here inside of number 5. So not just your protein and your calories, but you're going to start tracking all 3 macros. And you're going to add not just more intensity, but you're going to add more activity overall. So either adding more workouts, you could add more steps into your day, right? So, I mean, when we're cutting inside of my program, I like to see 15 to 20,000 steps. So, I mean, if you're trying to cut, you're getting 7,000 steps a day. There's one area that you can improve on a lot. And doesn't mean that you've got to be walking around town all day. You can go to the gym and do a light jog on the treadmill. Just get those steps in. That's going to be extra energy that you burn, right? Because you're in that cut phase. Yes, I said jog because you're already stressing yourself out. You're in a calorie deficit. You're trying to lose weight, right? We've gone through some steps already. We need to add more stuff in. So simply hitting the protein and calorie targets can take you really far. And it's normally enough to completely change the body enough in any direction that you want to go, really. Now, number 6, the last one that I have here is kind of an extra one I added in, but start eating more low glycemic carbs. I know Patty knows about this. We've been talking about this lately, but this is again a high level step to add. When your body is running off of too much sugar, it becomes harder to lose weight. So if your blood sugar is too high and your body's running off that sugar, then the doors to your fat cells are going to remain closed. So lipolysis never occurs and you never really lose fat. You never access that fat in those fat cells. So in this step, just pay attention to your glycemic index of your carb intake. Focus on eating more low glycemic carbs, which is going to give you less of a blood sugar spike, and focus on eating focus on eating your high glycemic carbs within 45 minutes pre and post workout. So those carbs within 45 minutes pre and post of your workout are going to be used to replenish your energy stores and won't be turned into fat. So you can normally eat like more sweet potatoes. Strawberries is an example of a low glycemic fruit. You just have to look up a list. But when you do want to eat those simple carbs, eat them close to your workout. So like if you're going into your workout, have a slice of white bread with some jam on it. Be like, oh yeah, there's some carbs, right? Because I mean, we've already done a lot of things here. Your body is becoming resistant to losing weight now because it's just been adapting everything that you throw at it, right? So eating more sweet potatoes during the day and then getting those treats in around your workouts is a good way to still get those treats in, but keep losing weight. You're keeping your blood stable, your blood sugar more stable throughout the day. So some low glycemic vegetables are asparagus, bell pepper. So basically, bright and colorful vegetables are going to be really where you want to start. Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, celery. I could list them all off, but it's just as easy to just go look online. But you're really looking for something that has a GI index of 55 and lower will be pretty good. So like low glycemic fruits, strawberries is my favorite one. Apples are pretty good. Bananas, if they're not quite ripe, then they're low glycemic. So that's something to look out for. Oranges and unsweetened apples are good. Now, low glycemic grains, a cup of brown rice, right? That would be good to go. Or quinoa is low glycemic, as are corn and wheat tortillas, unsweetened multigrain bread, oat bran, sourdough bread. So it gives you some stuff to eat still, right? Like it's not like you're being super restricted. You're just paying attention to another level. You're paying attention to the type of carb you're eating now, right? There's a lot of stuff inside of the basics that you can take it to another level with. So, quick recap. We talked about having a plan, right? And that is going to lead to moving the big rocks first, waiting until you plateau before you add anything, right? So just don't just start throwing in more stuff because you know how to do it. Just add something, let that plateau come, and then add something else to it to get you to that next level. Increase the intensity of your workouts will be number 4. And then you can add more activity in number 5, right? So inside of number 4, you're just going to do the same number of workouts, but you're going to do it a little bit more intense, right? You're going to add some activity in number 5, which means maybe you're doing more workouts, maybe you're doing more steps. And then number 6, we talked about high glycemic and low glycemic carbs, simple and complex carbs. And I might do another training on that this week just to go a little bit more in depth on that, give you some more examples. But there you go. That's your plan for 2023. It will work. And if you have any questions on how to implement any of that, please don't hesitate to reach out. Is there any steps? I was reading damn steps from Patty. Look at the question, the chats. Damn steps. Yeah, everybody hates those steps. We got to be moving. We can't be sedentary. We all know that now. But is there any questions right here live? Let's have a look in Facebook. If there's something here on the Zoom, you can go ahead. Where did we go? I was casting live in the group. Where are we? Nope. Home. Let's try home. There we are. 24 comments. Lots of comments. Any questions inside of there? I don't see any. Okay, perfect. Well, I'll get back to those comments inside of the group. We'll do some more trainings, Jackie. Definitely, lots of trainings. We're back. I was sick, missed a couple weeks. We had Christmas. I wasn't planning on being in here the whole time. Definitely planning on being in here more than I was. So we'll be in here lots this year. We're going to grow the group. We're going to be attentive and paying attention to what you guys need. So we're also going to get rid of all the chocolate in the house. Jackie says Darlene is starting from square one, but she's ready to make some small changes. Absolutely. You don't need to change the world the very first day, right? Like I said, someone that drinks soda can be just giving up soda for a month, right? Someone can drink more water for a month. You can literally sit in a chair and drink more water, right? Something simple, small like that can really get you just started, which is what we're talking about here. Got to put it in action. All right, let's go, everyone. We got this, Kelly. Perfect. All right. Well, that's tonight. It was Tuesday. It's supposed to be Monday next week. It might be Monday. It might be Tuesday. I'll let you know, Kelly. We'll see. But whatever I do next week, I will keep it on that schedule for sure. I just want to make sure everybody can get here, as many people as we can. So thanks for coming. Thanks for helping with the family. Thanks for being part of the group. Let's grow the group. Let's make sure that we make it a great place and everybody gets everything that they need. And I'll see everybody soon. All right.
Thanks, Darren.
Thanks,
Greatly
Darren.
appreciated.
Thanks.
No problem. See you guys.
Bye. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.